In the contemporary landscape of global trend-setting and consumer culture, there is a silent, almost invisible thread that connects the grandest traditions of high society with the simple, unpretentious joys of everyday life. We live in an era characterized by an unprecedented convergence of luxury, nostalgia, and emotional comfort, where the items that capture the public imagination are no longer exclusively defined by their utilitarian value, their technical specifications, or their sheer material wealth. Instead, a new paradigm of cultural currency has emerged, one that prizes whimsical design, exceptional tactile craftsmanship, and an undeniable sense of unique character. Every few decades, the global marketplace witnesses the rise of a phenomenon that completely deconstructs traditional economic logic, transforming modest, light-hearted creations into highly sought-after artifacts that appeal across all generations and socioeconomic boundaries. This shift reflects a profound change in the psychology of collecting, where modern consumers, from ordinary households to the most elite circles, seek out objects that offer a genuine sense of tactile comfort, emotional grounding, and joyful escapism in an increasingly complex world. The trajectory of these modern trends demonstrates how an idea that begins in the quiet corners of creative experimentation can gradually simmer beneath the surface of the mainstream consciousness for decades, waiting for the perfect cultural moment to erupt into a worldwide obsession that redefines the relationship between creators, consumers, and long-standing cultural institutions. To fully appreciate how these fascinating global phenomena take root and reshape our collective cultural landscape, it is essential to analyze the deep-seated human desire for connection, safety, and continuity through the specific objects we choose to surround ourselves with in our private spaces. Before we venture further into this intricate exploration of modern taste, childhood wonder, and institutional adaptation, please take a moment to subscribe to this channel and activate your notifications, ensuring you never miss our detailed examinations of the subtle trends and compelling narratives that shape our contemporary world. By joining our growing community of curious observers, you help us bring these deeply researched stories to light, uncovering the fascinating and often unexpected links between modern marketplace innovation and historic traditions. When we examine the broader history of consumer crazes and generational fads, we are inevitably reminded of the iconic moments in the late 20th century when the world became gripped by speculative collecting frenzies, with families carefully preserving small, fabric-filled treasures in pristine plastic boxes under the firm assumption that they would one day fund entire estates or secure real estate investments. While those historic speculative bubbles often burst, leaving behind a legacy of nostalgic charm and dramatically altered market values, the modern era has birthed an entirely different approach to collecting, one where the intrinsic value of an object is measured not by future financial returns, but by its capacity to bring immediate emotional joy and to serve as an authentic form of social currency among the youth and the young at heart. The cultivation of a truly enduring global brand in the current retail climate demands an extraordinary balance of long-term patience, meticulous design iteration, and an innate understanding of human emotion and attachment. Many of the most pervasive elements of today's visual culture did not achieve prominence through aggressive overnight marketing campaigns or massive corporate sponsorships, but rather through a slow, deliberate burn that allowed their identity to weave itself organically into the fabric of daily life over the course of a quarter century. For more than 2 decades, creative visionaries have quietly and dedicatedly labored to perfect a unique aesthetic that embraces the absurd, the charming, and the comforting, creating a vast and diverse universe of characters that slowly captured the attention of specialized boutique shops, discerning parents, and independent retailers. This long-term dedication to material quality and distinctive, smiling character design laid the groundwork for an unprecedented explosion in popularity during the mid-2020s. Heavily fueled by a universal human desire for comfort and a vibrant social media ecosystem that celebrates the whimsical and the collectible, it is a powerful testament to the modern dynamics of word-of-mouth recognition, where a product grows through the genuine, enthusiastic endorsement of families and close-knit communities. eventually transcending its original demographic to catch the eye of global tastemakers who recognize the profound cultural resonance of a seemingly simple concept. As this compelling story unfolds, we find ourselves approaching a remarkable intersection where these modern, highly coveted lifestyle trends begin to permeate the most secure, elite, and historic institutions in the world. There is an enchanting narrative developing around the way the highest echelons of society, including individuals tasked with upholding centuries of grand tradition, heritage, and ceremonial responsibility, are actively taking notice of the innocent obsessions that bring immense happiness to the youngest members of their families. Within these private family dynamics, certain contemporary artifacts have become so deeply cherished and integrated into daily play that they are spoken of as a defining currency of modern childhood, effectively bridging the wide gap between the grandeur of historical responsibility and the pure, unadulterated fun of youth. This fascinating dynamic has laid the foundation for a unique creative inspiration, prompting a historic institution to modernize its retail approach and embrace a playful, modern aesthetic that directly reflects the authentic interests and passions of the new generation. By looking closely at how these two distinct worlds collide, we gain a rare and insightful glimpse into the fluid nature of modern influence, demonstrating that even the most enduring symbols of tradition are capable of being inspired by the whimsical, joyful current of a modern phenomenon that started with a child's simple joke and grew into a global empire. This intriguing intersection invites us to look closer at what happens when the rigid protocols of the past welcome the light-hearted trends of the present, setting the stage for a transformation that few could have predicted. At the absolute heart of this captivating narrative lies an extraordinary transformation within the world of contemporary toys and luxury accessories, a phenomenon centered around the British plush company known as Jellycat. Founded in London in 1999 by two visionary brothers, the brand operated for over 2 decades as a respected but relatively understated player in the high-end nursery and boutique gift shop market. The name itself possesses a delightfully unpretentious and innocent origin story, tracing back to a moment of spontaneous childhood humor when one of the founder's young sons combined the words jelly and cat simply because the absurd image of a feline constructed entirely out of gelatin made him laugh. This whimsical spirit became the guiding philosophy for the entire enterprise, driving the creators to develop an ultra-soft, uniquely textured fabric that set their stuffed animals completely apart from the stiff, rigidly stuffed toys of previous generations. For the first 20 years of its existence, the company focused on creating traditional teddy bears, floppy-eared rabbits, and gentle woodland creatures, establishing a stellar reputation among discerning parents who appreciated the meticulous craftsmanship, durability, and safety standards of the products. However, as the world moved past the anxieties of the pandemic era in the mid-2020s, a dramatic and unprecedented shift occurred in the global consumer marketplace, catapulting this established British brand into an entirely new dimension of hyper-popularity and cultural relevance that few could have ever anticipated. The catalyst for this global explosion was a bold and brilliant expansion of their design philosophy, moving beyond traditional animals to introduce the Amusables line, a vast and wonderfully bizarre collection featuring smiling foods, vibrant plants, and everyday household objects. Suddenly, the marketplace was flooded with incredibly soft, expressive renditions of smiling avocados, cheerful croissants, tiny coffee cups, plush sports balls, and even potted succulents, each adorned with a signature, understated stitched smile and tiny corduroy legs. This clever combination of everyday utility and surreal, comforting anthropomorphism struck a powerful chord with a demographic far wider than anyone had predicted, moving rapidly from young children to teenagers, college students, and working professionals who found immense comfort and humor in these quirky characters. Social media platforms quickly became the primary engine for this retail revolution, with enthusiastic collectors around the world sharing videos of their extensive collections, documenting visits to specialized pop-up stores, and proudly showcasing how they integrated these plush items into their daily lives. The scarcity of certain designs quickly elevated them to the status of highly coveted collector's items, with people tracking down rare editions and willingly paying premium prices that would astound traditional retail analysts, including reports of individuals spending $70 or more on a single golden retriever plush or specialized charm. The brand expanded its footprint across more than 70 countries, turning what was once a slow-burning family business into a multi-million-dollar global empire built on the universal human desire for tactile comfort, light-hearted emotional connection, and highly shareable digital content. This massive wave of cultural popularity eventually moved into the highest and most exclusive circles of British society, deeply influencing the private lives of the royal family and sparking an unexpected creative collaboration at the very top of the institution. Reports began to surface that Princess Charlotte, the young daughter of Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, had developed a profound fondness for these uniquely designed stuffed animals, collecting them with the same intense enthusiasm shared by millions of other children across the globe. The deep attachment of the young princess and her siblings to these toys did not go unnoticed by their family, leading to a memorable moment when Prince William, upon being presented with a selection of the plush toys during an official engagement, warmly remarked that his children would absolutely love them, referring to the whimsical toys as their true currency. This candid and charming revelation highlighted just how deeply these modern, smiling characters had woven themselves into the daily fabric of the royal household, serving as a shared source of comfort and joy behind the closed doors of their private residences. King Charles took note of this immense adoration displayed by his grandchildren, recognizing not only the innocent joy the toys brought to his family, but also the profound way this specific British brand had captured the contemporary imagination of the public. Inspired by this genuine family connection and the undeniable cultural momentum surrounding the phenomenon, the king envisioned an opportunity to modernize the retail identity of the monarchy, bridging centuries of grand royal tradition with the playful, innovative spirit of modern British design. This royal inspiration directly led to a groundbreaking initiative orchestrated by the Royal Collection Trust, the official department responsible for managing the public gift shops at historic residences like Buckingham Palace and Windsor Castle. In an unprecedented move, the Trust developed a brand new line of exclusive, high-end plush toys and accessories that were explicitly themed around the quintessentially British concept of a royal tea party. The gift shops began offering beautifully crafted, smiling plush representations of traditional treats, including whimsical teacups, elegant pastries, and incredibly clever cucumber sandwich keychains, all designed to capture the exact aesthetic and irresistible tactile appeal that had made the modern plush trend a global sensation. This strategic move represented a major departure from the traditional souvenirs typically found in royal gift shops, such as fine bone china, commemorative tea towels, and historic guidebooks, introducing a fresh, modernized opportunity for visitors to interact with and represent the monarchy. The response to this new collection was immediate and overwhelming, drawing in a completely new demographic of trendy collectors and fashion-forward individuals who rushed to raid the Buckingham Palace gift shop to secure these exclusive items. Influencers and tastemakers quickly embraced the high-low fashion contrast, proudly declaring their intentions to clip a plush cucumber sandwich keychain onto luxury designer handbags like a Chanel, transforming a simple palace souvenir into the ultimate modern-style statement. This remarkable convergence of high society and playful consumer culture proved that the monarchy could remain deeply relevant and attuned to the contemporary cultural climate, successfully channeling a light-hearted global phenomenon into a celebrated extension of its own historic heritage. To truly understand the profound significance of this delightful cultural intersections, one must look closely at the remarkable lives and evolving roles of the key figures who have unwittingly brought this story to the forefront of global attention. At the center of this multi-generational narrative is King Charles, a monarch who spent many decades preparing for his historic role, while simultaneously cultivating a deep, enduring passion for traditional British craftsmanship, organic agriculture, and the preservation of historic arts. Throughout his long public life, he has consistently championed sustainable practices, traditional architecture, and the meticulous preservation of heritage techniques, often favoring the timeless and the enduring over the fleeting, fast-paced trends of modern consumerism. Yet, his leadership of the monarchy has also been defined by a clear, pragmatic understanding that long-standing institutions must remain dynamic, accessible, and deeply connected to the lived experiences of ordinary people. His unexpected inspiration to integrate a playful modern plush trend into the official Royal Collection Trust retail catalog perfectly mirrors this dual nature, showcasing an adaptable, forward-thinking grandfather who is fully capable of stepping outside his traditional comfort zone to embrace the light-hearted joys of the younger generation. By transforming a private observation of his grandchildren's playtime into a celebrated public initiative, he has demonstrated a unique ability to bridge the gap between ancient royal heritage and contemporary popular culture, proving that the crown can be both a guardian of the past and an active, smiling participant in the present day. Equally central to this narrative are the younger generations of the family, particularly Prince William and his daughter, Princess Charlotte, whose authentic affection for these modern toys sparked this entire creative evolution. Princess Charlotte, born into a life of immense public interest and ceremonial duty, represents the bright, modern future of the institution, growing up in a world where the boundaries between historic expectation and ordinary childhood are constantly being navigated by her dedicated parents. Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, have made a conscious, deeply admired effort to provide their children with a grounded, joyful upbringing, ensuring they experience the classic, comforting milestones of childhood, despite their extraordinary public destiny. When Prince William shared that these ultra-soft, whimsical characters had become the definitive currency among his children, he offered the global public a rare, incredibly endearing glimpse into the warm reality of their family life, stripping away the heavy layers of formality to reveal a home filled with the exact same laughter, trends, and comfort objects that define ordinary modern households. This genuine connection highlights how a shared love for a simple, beautifully designed object can humanize even the most prominent figures in society, fostering a powerful sense of shared experience between the public and a family that is navigating the delicate path toward the future. This fascinating convergence matters on a much larger scale because it serves as a masterclass in how historic, centuries-old brands can successfully modernize their identity without losing an ounce of their core dignity or historic prestige. The retail operations of the Royal Collection Trust have historically relied on a very traditional definition of luxury, offering visitors exquisite replicas of royal portraits, fine porcelain tea sets, and beautifully bound historical volumes that emphasize the grand solemn history of the state. While those classic items will always hold a vital place in the palace shops, the introduction of whimsical tea party-themed plush items like the immensely popular cucumber sandwich keychains and smiling teacups represents a brilliant, highly effective democratization of luxury. It acknowledges that modern visitors, particularly younger demographics and international travelers, look for products that offer a unique blend of heritage and contemporary humor, allowing them to carry a piece of royal history in a format that fits seamlessly into their daily lifestyles and social media feeds. This strategy has successfully transformed the Palace gift shop from a repository of traditional souvenirs into a vibrant destination for trend-setting collectors, demonstrating that an ancient institution can remain deeply attuned to the pulse of the global marketplace while continuing to celebrate the timeless charm of British creativity and design innovation. When we step back and analyze the incredible trajectory of the two British brothers who founded our modest plush toy company in London back in 1999, we witness a powerful testament to the enduring value of patience, meticulous quality, and creative independence in an industry often dominated by rapid duplication and fleeting digital fads. For nearly 3 decades, these creators poured their hearts into developing an unmistakable aesthetic based on unmatched softness, subtle emotional expressions, and a delightful celebration of the ordinary things in life. gradually building a deeply loyal following through independent boutiques and word-of-mouth recommendations, long before social media algorithms catapulted them into a global phenomenon. Their inspiring journey from a simple childhood joke about a cat made of gelatin to a multi-million-dollar empire that influences the retail strategy of Buckingham Palace serves as a beautiful reminder of the magic that happens when creative visionaries refuse to compromise on material excellence and artistic originality. This story beautifully illustrates that true cultural resonance cannot be forced through aggressive corporate marketing overnight, but rather grows organically when a product captures a genuine human need for comfort, joy, and lighthearted connection in a complex world. As these exclusive, royal-inspired plush creations find their way onto luxury designer hands,